Hello adventurers, I'm Gray and welcome back to another Hytale blog analysis. This time it's a visual tour of Zone 3, which I sort of expected considering how they talked about Zone 3 at EGX Res. It figures they'd make a blog update to let everyone who didn't catch it at Res to learn about it, and so here's the teaser for Zone 3 that they revealed at Res. I already went over this teaser in a previous video though, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, and since this makes up a large part of this blog post, this is going to be a fairly brief discussion, I think. But to start out, each of Hytale's zones is procedurally generated using its own rules. They're comprised of multiple biomes, and we're creating unique sets of prefabs for each, which together allows them to create expansive landscapes that have a distinctive visual identity and atmosphere. Yeah, there's 4 different zones right now. However, the names that we know for the zones, such as Emerald Grove and Borea, which is Zone 3 here, things like that, Devastated Lands, etc. Those aren't final names, which is why they're referring to them by their numbers. And so the names are likely to change later on. I do like the name Borea though. Like, out of all 4 of them, I like Borea the most, I think, because it sounds most like a real name for an area. However, I'll let you guys know whenever they change the names. I might do a small video on that because that's pretty important to know. And everything here is also work in progress. So Zone 3 is a wintry region comprised of forested valleys, tall mountains, and deep caves. Each zone has an affinity with a particular aspect of elemental magic, and this one means water, which is why this zone is calling to me so well, since water is my favorite element. From winding rivers to snow-capped peaks and icy glaciers. So let's take a quick zoom in on here. Not too much to see other than the spruce trees growing up with the evergreens and the winding rivers running through it, which look nice. Here we have some more wildlife, including a woodpecker, which is a bird variant, and there will be things like wolves, polar bears, and rams in this area, which I'm looking most forward to wolves because that's one of my favorite animals of all time. I really love wolves. Look at this Woody the woodpecker over here. I wonder if they'll actually be able to make holes in the wood. It's probably just another skin of a bird, so I guess not, but it would be cool if they could. Here's a ram, in this case minding its own business. Last time we saw one of them, it was being ridden into battle. Now, I don't want to click on this right now because it will open a new tab. However, if you recall, it was in the Hytale announcement trailer where you're riding a ram into battle against something that'll appear later on here, but it basically looked like a yeti, like a big boss monster. And so that means that you can ride on things like rams, you can ride on horses, and there might be more mountable creatures. I'm sort of hoping you can ride on a wolf. I think that would be really funny and cool and epic at the same time. Okay, it'll just be good. I think it'd be nice. Dig through the snow and ice and you'll find winding cave systems illuminated by bioluminescent mushrooms. I discussed the lighting I saw in caves in Zone 3 in that little trailer they showed for Zone 3. It turns out, I think it's just the mushrooms that are providing illumination, these bioluminescent mushrooms, which once again, as I said before, remind me of glowing blue mushrooms from Terraria, but I'm sure they're different and they'll have their own separate use in this game too. You can also see some sort of packed snow blocks or ice blocks mixed in with the snow. They look a little bit different, kind of like blue ice. Moving onwards, we see mine entrance prefabs, such as this one, which are scattered throughout the world. This one is bigger than most and provides access to pre-existing underground structures, which are handy if you don't fancy digging a tunnel the hard way. Kind of like how you find cave entrances on the surface in Minecraft or other games, which I'm sure you'll find some randomly on here too. In Hytale, there will also be mine entrances, which aren't in other games like Minecraft, where basically it looks like a civilization started digging before you, and they kind of left it behind. You can enter the mines that they've just left here. It has some banners going down, some cloth. It has torches, once again within their holders, some barrels and some things on their tables. It has some crates and mine carts and ropes. The main thing I see here are metal chains, but we've seen metal chains before going diagonally across, along with the classic railways. I'm looking forward to making roller coasters in Hytale. I wonder if they'll be more fun than Minecraft's, because Minecraft's minecarts are a little bit janky sometimes. Like, they don't go that fast if you make a roller coaster. Even going straight downhill at a slant as fast as you can, they're not that fast. But if the momentum system is better in Hytale, then I can imagine making really adrenaline-pumping roller coasters in this game, which would be really nice. I can imagine making some like minecart scenes that you see in other shows and anime and stuff like that, where you're just going super fast on the minecart and just like through the mine shafts. That would be really cool, with jumps and things. Moving onwards, we see more about the mine shafts and how multiple of them can be dynamically combined to create unique underground environments. By spawning multiple prefabs that flow effortlessly into each other, they make the ends of these prefabs out of staircases or ladders. That way, the next prefab they have that connects to it starts with a staircase or a ladder, and it connects in a seamless way to make a continuous prefab, like mine shaft, that keeps on going, and you can just explore it at whatever rate you want. You can see some nice little plants in here though, such as some more mushrooms, some more underground plants, and some glowing blue torches, it seems, or some sort of light source going down here. Additionally, I'm going to zoom in on this video a little bit, just so you can see it in more detail. At the very top, for a split second, I can see another gemstone that I don't think we've seen before. There's not too much deep down, but you can see a white gemstone at the top. I think they showed that off on purpose to show that there is a unique gemstone or unique ore to Borea, Zone 3. And that'll probably be the main one of this area, though there may be more than one to each zone, but there's at least one here. So moving on, we see dungeons. So mine shafts could connect into dungeons, or procedurally generated caves could lead out into a prefab dungeon encounter. This one has a skeletal defender, which I assume will put up a bit of a fight, especially if you're not prepared for it. It looks like it might be more powerful than a generic skeleton, and can hit you from a range. And if they're anything like Minecraft skeletons, they'll have pixel perfect accuracy, which means they'll be quite frustrating to fight, but if the PvP system is good, it could be a lot of fun. We'll see. Next we have a nice view of sort of lighting, the light rays and things like that in Borea, the fog, some nice clouds going up above. It's just a nice, what I think is a sunrise above Borea. This is such a pretty zone though. I love it. I love how it looks. I love the snow, I love the water, I love everything about it. It's really nice. Back on the surface, time of day and weather changes alter how the landscape feels. Oh no, this is setting. I messed it up. Introduces a burst of orange and pink to the palette of cool blues, grays, and browns. Yeah. That's a fake way to spell grays. Get it right. Rendering and lighting effects are enormously useful for creating atmosphere. Zone 3 is in an area of natural beauty that played host to some of the darkest moments in Orbis' history. There's a somber sense to the region, even when you're surrounded by nature. So, once again, it's just another good look at the lighting, the nighttime, the moon rays, I guess you could call it, shining through the leaves. This is so much like shader packs in something like Minecraft, but I think it's even better because it looks more natural because it's part of the game. Like, look at how it filters through the leaves. It's so nice. Oh man, I wish there was an Aurora Borealis going above this. That would just really finish the scene. Rendering and lighting. Yeah, I read that. Here's something I actually already took note of and knew about. Like, I didn't know what the Outlanders were, and it doesn't explain what they are here, but it says that the Outlanders call Zone 3 their home, and they'll be revealing more about them in the future. But here's another example of how Hytale's prefab system generates camps and forts based on designs laid out by concept artists. I did know about Outlanders. I saw this concept art, and I was thinking of mentioning them in a separate video before, but now I don't need to because it's already in this video. It looks like they're probably a rebel human faction, though, that broke away from the regular humans and decided to live on their own. They got taken over by some corruption. They're basically probably a negative human faction, an evil human faction. Their camps are imposing and bristle with defensive features like high walls and watchtowers, but who are they attempting to keep at bay? You have a chance to uncover the answer for yourself as you explore. Actually, they might be trying to keep out the corruption. Maybe they're trying to fight back against Varen and things like that. And just a quick analysis of this picture here. Just on glimpse, I can't really see too much to point out. There might be a couple new building blocks here, but otherwise there's not too much. There's some nice falling snow, I'll say, and some nice fog going on. We can see sturdy thatched buildings and communal fire pits to provide a different perspective on Zone 3. It's not all ice and danger out here in the wild. And yeah, here's another view of the Outlander camps where they make their own communities here. I like the fire pits because you can tell it's 4 campfires put together. So you can make one of these yourself just by making campfires, placing them down in a 2x2 area, placing some rocks around it to make it more like a communal fire pit. But it makes a nice effect that makes it look like it's just one big fire. And I like that it gives the creativity to do things like that. Once again, I don't think there's too much extra to point out here that hasn't already been, so we'll move on to the last little piece of info. Then again, sometimes it is. And here's the Yeti I mentioned earlier, except I'm not sure if it had these skulls around its neck last time we saw it in the Hytale reveal trailer. I would recommend staying hidden from this guy because you don't have a ram to ride on anymore. He's gonna wreck your face. And that's basically all for this blog update. I will say one thing I really appreciate is this right here at the bottom. To download a zip containing the screenshots and short video clips, click here. Thank you! Thank you, Hypixel Studios. That makes my job so much easier. Because previously I had to click on these, open them in new tabs, and then save them. And sometimes it would save them as a web page file, so I'd have to take a screenshot of it and then snip it and stuff like that. This makes it so much easier. I can just click here and download everything and use it in videos, so thank you. And I hope you do that in all future blog posts, because that would be really nice. And add it to past blog posts too. I'd really appreciate that. So that's really all for now. That's a good look at Zone 3, Borea, and all its icy goodness. Hopefully you all learned something, subscribe for more Hytale content, and I hope to see you all on the next adventure.